We all hear about the mafia time and again, and most people think they know what it stands for, what really goes on. But two investigative reporters from the New York Daily News tell us all what we probably don't know about the biggest mobster around, John Gotti. In the book Mobstar, Gene Mustain and Jerry Capeci include never-before-published material with the real lowdown. Never-before-published material. Explosive stuff? Like what?
Well, you bet. We've got John Gotti talking on tape in a way that really reveals the ruthless, sinister world that he's part of. He brags on tape about how he likes to go out and beat people up with baseball bats. We have an amazing story in the book in which he tells his friends how he once beat a man up, broke his jaw, broke his leg, discovered that the man was a cop, and while the man was begging for mercy, he took out a gun, put the gun in the man's mouth, and made him beg for more mercy just as a way of humiliating him.
Where was the tape?
The tapes were made in Gotti's Ozone Park clubhouse. They were made in 1986, shortly after he took over as boss of the Gambino crime family.
Who do the tapes belong to?
They belong right now to the, well, they were made by the Organized Crime Task Force, a state organization. They've since been turned over to the federal authorities and are presently being gone over and used ostensibly to build another case against Gotti.
What is it about Gotti, that Dapper Don, as they call him, that made you two want to write a book about it?
Well, he's a great story. Just how he took over his crime family in New York is a spectacular story. It happened in the wake of a double murder in Midtown Manhattan at Christmas time. Shortly after that, John Gotti went on trial in two highly publicized cases in New York in which he impressed everyone as a new kind of mob boss. He's charming and dapper and handsome, liked to wisecrack with reporters. He wasn't like a usual mob boss who would go into a courtroom and put a raincoat over his head. John Gotti was a new kind of mob boss. I think what our book shows, however, because of the secret information that we got, that he's really like an old-time mob boss. He's really just like Al Capone. With the new type mob boss image, what will he be able to do you think, that other mob bosses haven't been able to?
Well, since he's beaten two cases, he's been acquitted in two cases, he's become kind of a symbol, I think, across the country for other crime families. And I think there just may be an effect across the country where he could somehow induce other mafia family bosses to behave as ruthlessly and as interestingly as he has.
Other mobsters have gone to jail. He really hasn't. Will he ever, do you think, get put away?
Well, who can predict the future, but there certainly are a number of prosecutors in New York who would like to put the Gotti notch on their six-shooter. I think he's going to be a target of a lot of investigations in the future, but in order to put someone away, you have to get evidence and have it stand up in court. They haven't been able to do that against John Gotti so far. And
what about the intimidation factor? Just how much does that play into it? A mobster must have a lot of people behind him, etc. They can use intimidation.
Well, sometimes it does affect the ability of the government to get witnesses willing to go into court and point the finger at anybody, especially a mobster. It really was a factor in the acquittal of John Gotti in the only time he's been put on trial in Brooklyn.
Weren't you two a little afraid of getting involved, digging this deep, and writing a story about someone like this?
Well, we both love our wives very much, and we really wouldn't do anything to make them worry. I think John Gotti, oddly enough, probably really respects us for the job that we've done, because he knows what we've written in the book is true. None of it's made up. And so I think he also has gotten used to the idea of publicity, of being a mob boss. A lot of people pay attention to you. And I think from occupying that position, he now knows that the press and the public are going to be interested in him.
Thanks for being with us. Interesting reading. Appreciate your time.